Well, I want to stop here for a second and just congratulate you on the progress that you've made. Think back to, we started by looking at your whole life and what is your mission for what you'd like to see for yourself at your 70th birthday party, and then you looked at what is your mission for your career and setting a goal for yourself. And then we looked at the two pillars and what are the values that are your moral compass, so that when you're making decisions and taking action, that those are guiding what the decisions that you're making. And then we looked at your beliefs, your mindset, and we said, what are those mindsets that help you to be successful as you're taking action and making decisions and influencing people. Then we took a look at what are the communication strengths that you have. And finally, just recently, we looked at the driving forces. What are the passions for your heart? So now, at the end of the driving forces, you come to a part of the report that I think is phenomenal. And it starts with the caption says, Introduction, Integrating Behaviors and Driving Forces section. So I want you to find that section. It's right after the driving forces. And what this does is it takes a look at your unique communication style along with the specific driving forces that you have, and it gives some bullet point statements about different areas that are important for you to take a look at it. I actually, a lot of times, I recommend for people to take these, it's going to be 5 pages, out from the report. And if you were going to give somebody just a couple of pages about yourself, I would give the general characteristics of communicating, the general characteristics of driving forces, and these 5 pages. This is a great summary of who you are. So I'm going to ask you to do an assignment so that you can narrow down the things that resonate the most with you, the things that seem like they're most like you off of this report. So let's start with moving past the first page, which is the introduction. And I'm going to walk you through the instructions, and then I'll put the instructions up on the screen. So you'll have all of these instructions that I'm verbally communicating on the screen. You can come back and go through the whole assignment at one time, rather than stopping the video in increments. Okay, so here we go. The first thing you're going to do is turn to the page in your report that says Potential Behavior and Motivational Strengths. That's the first out of 5 pages we're going to be looking at. And what I want you to do here, this page describes the areas of strength that you have in the combination, the intersection of your communication style and your motivational drivers. The first page that we're going to look at is called, the title is Potential Behavior and Motivational Strengths. So find that page. It's 1 page after the introduction. And we'll be looking at this one plus 4 more. And so on this particular page, what it does is it describes the strengths that you have, which are a combination of your communication style and your driving forces. So what the uniqueness of both of those things in you, there's some bullet points here that describe your strengths. So I'd like you to do is check the three statements on this page, the behavior and motivational strengths that most resonate with you, that you think these are most like me. And remember that these are unique strengths that you have because of the combination of those two features, your communication style and your motivational drivers. So the second page is called Potential Behavior and Motivational Conflict. And what this does is it describes what might be internal conflicts that you have because your communication style is pulling you in one direction, but your driving forces or your passions are pulling you in another direction. And so again, read through all of the bullet points and then check the 2 or 3 potential conflicts that you think might minimize the ability that you have to be as impactful a leader as you would like to be. And again, this is just to raise your awareness about how you might have some internal conflicts. And just in the awareness of those, you can take some actions to make sure that you're, operating according to your values and your beliefs in how you make decisions, communicate, influence, and just interact with people. Okay, the next page is called Ideal Environment. And this page is really identifying the work environment that will work best for you. And so what I suggest you do here is check as many of the factors as you think are really important to you, as you think about the kind of company, organization, group, team that you would like to work within. And I think of these as being like cultural attributes. As you're looking for another, your next position, your next opportunity, what are the cultural aspects of that team or that organization that you want to make sure are in place in order for you to be surrounding yourself with the kind of environment that's going to be most conducive for you to be the best leader possible? Okay. The next page is called Keys to Motivating, and it is what you would think. These are some, bullet points, some descriptions of, based on how you completed the assessment, things that would be helpful in motivating you to be able to do your work well. And again, check the statements, as many of them as really resonate with you, and just think about it. If you were going to pick your next manager and you're going to say, these are things that motivate me, you would like that person to know, which of these it would be important to you, that it would be important for your manager to know that this is the best way to motivate you into having the best performance possible. And then the last of the 5 pages is called Keys to Managing. And this is really, again, for your manager. Your manager is managing you, or you're managing yourself. What are some descriptions of things to watch for? So again, I'd like you to just highlight 3 or 4 of these statements that you think are the most important to you, and what you would like to make sure that your current manager or your next manager knows about you in order to create the best working environment for you to be as successful as possible in your leadership role. Okay, so again, I'm going to leave these instructions up on the screen, and if you'll just go back to page number 1, the strengths, and work your way through. And when you've completed this assignment, we'll be ready to launch into our next section, which is going to be talking to you about business acumen, the way that you think about problems and problem solve. Okay? Looking forward to it.